Today I am going to go into the plow pose. Oh my gosh, the plow pose, what's wrong with me? So the plow pose is a little more advanced. When I was a young girl, much smaller than I am now, growing up in Harlem, in the tough streets of Harlem, I used to be able to get into this pose like it was nothing. And I didn't even know this was considered a yoga pose. But now, my bumsy is a little bit too heavy, so I'm going to show you how to use your yoga blocks to get you into the plow pose. So let's get seated. Okay, now there are two different types of blocks that I have. The cork block, which is a little more solid. I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to be using something a little more softer. My block right here. Now I'm going to double up on the blocks just so it could give me a little boost so I can send my legs on up and over my head. Now, I won't be going into a full plow because, like I said, I haven't done this pose in quite some time. So, yeah, I'm going to have to work towards that as much as possible. But that's another thing I should point out. If you're not fully there at the point where you would like to be, don't force yourself into a pose until you, work your way up. So I'm going to go as far as my body comfortably would allow it. So once my body say, pull back, man down, I'm going to stop, okay? Just so you know. So we are going to go into a supine position, just laying your back flat on the mat. I'm going to move my locks out of the way. Kind of get comfortable here because this one is a doozy. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to bend my knees so I can lift up my hip and put my one block here. Ooh. And put my second block here underneath the lower part of my back. Plant both hands onto the mat. And then on my next inhale, I'm going to send both feet up into the air and then lower it down as close to the floor as possible. So I'm not going to be talking through this because, of course, I'm going to be in that inversion. All right, so I just described what I'm going to do, and now I'm going to do it. That was fun. All right. So what I did was, just kept breathing as I lift my feet up. I shifted my waist and sent my hips up to the sky or to the ceiling or whatever. And then I began to lower my legs over my head or as close to it as possible and not put myself into any danger. So as you notice, your body's going to speak to you and you got to listen to it. So I hope that everything that I said was helpful and you begin to try little by little. Like maybe you just, I should have told you that was the bridge pose that I started in, and you can add your blocks into that bridge pose. So maybe you start with the bridge pose until you get comfortable, because eventually you can remove the blocks and then be able to send your hips all the way up without the blocks underneath you. So, you know, maybe you just work your way up with the bridge pose, and then you begin to lift your legs up in the sky and just hold it there until you get comfortable. And then little by little, you begin to send your legs as close to the floor as possible. So I myself am not, you know, there to have my toes touching the floor over my head. Nope, they ain't me, they ain't me. So just work, let's work our way up to wherever we feel fit and take it from there. See you tomorrow for day 3 in our April Fool's Challenge.